Maybe Brian's on. Brian has his photo on. What Brian's doing is he's actually getting some snacks or something, and he wants everybody to believe that he's here, but he's not. Lucas, how are you?
Great, great. Glad to be on the call.
Absolutely, yeah. This will be a good one. So.
And I'm doing well, Todd, too. Sorry, I was not quite quick enough on the mute button, but hopefully everybody can hear me okay. And yeah, definitely appreciate the invite and glad to be here.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'd like to say hello to everybody. My name is Michael Horton. This is my first time on the call.
Yeah, Michael, you're remind me, you're with Bunker Labs, is that right?
A Coffey bunker.
Coffee Bunker, you know, Bunker Labs. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're going to be on the next call if I remember correctly. So
I am, yes.
Yeah, good. Glad to have you on and just
Good to be here.
check out the format. So
Sure.
So Leslie, how's things at ACP?
Growing. So we've added, I think about 8 spouses lately. So that's really exciting.
Wow.
To the team. I'm really proud of that.
Good. That's great.
Right before the call, we just hit our 50,000 follower on LinkedIn. And at first my colleague was going to buy a ACP t-shirt for whoever it was, but we saw it was a spouse. So I said, okay, this one's on me.
Well, good for you. That's awesome. I have 50,000 followers minus about, 40 some thousand.
Hi, Dave.
Dave, you made it. I told everybody that it's you like to keep me in suspense until the very end, and then you're there, and I'm like, oh, okay, good, that's good. Because
I don't intend to. Sorry about that.
No, we all know that everybody's here for you anyway. So.
Well, I'm here for all of you.
That's awesome. And Brian, I was talking to you a couple minutes ago, but apparently you were here in profile only.
I apologize. Yes, I was not quite ready there. So I'm here now, though. So how are things with you?
You know what? Things have started to cool down a little bit here in Nashville. So we're okay with that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So how about Colorado Springs?
Colorado Springs is pretty nice, 83 and sunny today. We've been getting some rain in some evenings. We could always use a little more, but yeah, not too bad. No complaints here.
Oh, good. That's awesome.
I'll actually be in your neck of the woods for 2 days in October for 2 days, I think.
Well, whatever you do, don't come by my office.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Are you going to be in the Nashville or Fort Campbell or?
No, I'm
Nashville
actually
area?
going to be there in Nashville. Yeah, we've got our one of many national sales meetings happening for our bank, and that's the one they're asking me to head to, since obviously we're a smaller presence here in Colorado still. So I will be traveling to one of those, and yeah, the whole leadership team will be there in Nashville. I'm not sure where I'm staying, but
Well,
I got my flights into Nashville here coming out of Denver. So.
Oh, awesome. Well, keep me updated. It'd be great to actually connect with you at some point, but I know you'll probably be busy for a lot of the conference, but if it works out, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be super cool. I'm actually coming in a little bit of a day early just because the way things start on whatever day this thing started at like 11 a.m. So if I try and get from Denver to Nashville and the flight's delayed, then I miss it all. So they actually have me coming in the day before. So yeah, we could potentially meet for a cup of coffee or something if we can figure that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's October.
Yeah, I have to look up.
I just realized
early October.
I just realized whatever day you're going to be in, I'm going to be out of town.
You're going to be
so
busy. Of course. Yeah, no, it's all good. I understand how that goes.
I'm sorry about, no, I'm just kidding.
I think it's the 7th. No, wait, the 15th. No, the 22nd.
Yeah.
No, the 31st. Oh, you're busy all those.
All of those. It's no good. I'm sorry.
No good.
That's awesome. Well, listen, for those of you that joined us, we are going to be starting here in about a minute or two. Typically, we give folks a moment to join, but we do want to honor your time for those of you that are here on time. And so just wanted to make you aware that we know that your time is valuable, and we strive here at Transition 30 to make sure that you get as much out of your time as possible. So lots of great information. What I am going to say, and I'll repeat it here for in a minute or two, but feel free to take notes. I would definitely pull out a pen and paper. The format here is that each of the presenters, and we have 6, are going to have 5 minutes to tell you everything there is to know, or everything that they can squeeze in. Think of it like an elevator pitch for American Corporate Partners, or for RecruitMilitary, or for information on VA home loans. There is no way that any of these presenters can give all the information out. The whole idea is we want to pique your interest in, if you need in your transition, if you need help in a particular area, now you know who to reach out to. You know who you can connect with. And I encourage our presenters, I encourage you, go ahead and put your information in the chat for LinkedIn, especially. That's kind of where a lot of our folks where we've connected. So if you have a LinkedIn profile, go ahead and connect. Go ahead and put your information in the chat. And I do want to let you know, while as we're starting to see more people come on, I'm going to go ahead and start in. I do want you to know, while I want you to have your pen and paper, if you miss something, if somebody says something and you're like, oh man, I didn't catch that, we are going to send out a final email. If you're registered on this call or in attendance, we are going to send out a final email, and there will be links where this is recorded. It will be on our YouTube channel, where you can, probably within a day or so, this will be uploaded. You can check out the recording, and we'll also, if you want, we will send out a transcript of the chat. So if you missed somebody's LinkedIn profile, really wanted to connect with them, and didn't happen to connect with them in the past, that's what we'll send out for you. There is a Transition 30 group. We host these every other month, and our next one is in October. And so if you want to be a part of that group, where we let you know about upcoming events, in that final email, there will also be a place where you can click on and ask to join the Transition 30 group. So we have a great group today. Again, we're going to go ahead and get started. Great group of presenters, very, very excited. We've been doing this over a year now. We literally have talked to hundreds and hundreds of transitioning service members. There is no rhyme or reason why you're on the call, other than that you are transitioning. And that's why we call it Transition 30. 30 minutes. There will be a Q&A at the end. And just wanted to make you aware of some of those details, so that you can be sure to get as much out of this as we can. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our presenters. My name is Todd Nelson. I'm a specialist in the financial services area, in helping transitioning service members, veterans, as you navigate through that whole space. Then we also have Leslie Coffey. She is the vice president, I believe, if I'm getting your title correct, at American Corporate Partners, one of the greatest organizations out there in the as far as what they do in mentoring those that are trying to transition. So I'm going to let her tell you a little bit more about that. Then we have Lucas Connolly with RecruitMilitary, going to be talking to us about not only RecruitMilitary, but also about resumes and whatever else he has on board. So it's going to be a great time. We also have James Kalos. He is with Wounded Warrior Project, a great organization. As a matter of fact, they have a chapter. Matter of fact, I think, James, your headquarters may be here in Nashville, if I'm remembering correctly. So looking forward to hearing from him. We have Brian Tichenor. He is going to be talking to us about VA home loans. And then we also have Dave Schantz, who is the DoD Skillbridge master. And I know, Lucas, that's kind of what you do as well, but Dave's going to be talking on the Skillbridge side today. So lots of great information. I do want to introduce the clock. We have a clock, 5 minutes, each of our presenters. If you don't know, you're going to learn to love or hate this clock. It does give you 5 minutes. And when you are close to your 5 minute timeline, I hold this up and then I kick you out of the group if you go over. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that. But so again, appreciate everybody here joining on the call. We're going to go ahead. I am going to be hosting the call, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I just want to talk to you about if you could have an AAR, an after action report, 18 months down the road for your transition, when it comes to your financial readiness. That's what today is all about. I have literally talked to hundreds of transitioning service members, veterans, and every time I talk to them, I ask them, if you had a chance to get in front of a group like we're in front of today, what would you tell them? And so I am basically taking a lot of that information and I am compiling it down for you. And I just want you to be aware that there is some windows that you really, and I'm going to go ahead and start my own clock, that you really need to be aware of. For instance, when it comes to your SGLI and then converting it to VGLI, apparently this is not as well documented as it should be. You can very easily get yourself in a position where you are trying to get your VA evals, you're trying to start your BDD process, and you're on top of that, and you think you're doing great. And then when you realize, oh, I need to make the SGLI, VGLI decision, and you apply for private life insurance, you could very well have precluded yourself or excluded availability in getting private life insurance simply because you put the cart before the horse, or you didn't realize that your window was closing. Why? Because in the VA documentation process, you want to document as much as possible. That is a given. If you do that before you have applied for life insurance and the underwriters for the life insurance start to see some of those records, they may exclude you and say, we cannot cover you. So make sure that if you are looking at SGLI and you think VGLI is not the most attractive option for you, then make sure that you are applying for private life insurance before you start your BDD process, your VA evaluations. All right. Second thing, I'm not going to emphasize this as much because I'm going to talk about it in a second, but I'm going to be on a call with Lucas here on Tuesday. We're going to get much more in depth on this, but SBP is not a cut and dry. You will have to opt out. If you have a spouse, they will have to have a notarized affidavit that they are willing to opt out. So, but realize that it is a very expensive decision that the military is asking you to make. And if you don't educate yourself, it can literally be thousands and thousands of dollars. The number one thing that I tell you to do though, is don't just take one person's word for what you should do about SBP. Don't say, well, the military says it's a good thing. It can be, but it may not be for you. Don't take the life insurance salesman's word that SBP is a terrible thing and it's a great thing to do this strategy that life insurance has. It might be a good strategy, but it may not be for you. So make sure that you find somebody that can run the numbers with you and for you, and then help you to make that decision that doesn't have an agenda of trying to sell a certain product or a certain item to you. Okay. TSP. If you haven't logged on since June 1st, you may want to do that. There's been a huge transformation in TSP. If you have loans and you're getting ready to transition, be sure that you've talked to somebody about what that's going to look like. I had a client that ended up having to take a distribution. They ended up having to pay taxes and penalties. They didn't realize that a loan on TSP, when you separate, creates a big issue. So be sure you're aware of that. Got about a minute, and this is where I want to focus to more time today. Make sure that you have walked through your tax situation. Realize that when you are outboarding, when you are going through that process, they will ask you how much do you want to have withdrawn. In that first year or two, realize your BAS, your BAH, that's going away. You're going to have a brand new civilian income, especially if you're 20 plus years. Now you've got a pension on top of those things. That can easily throw you into a whole new tax bracket. And when you've only had, say, 10% withheld, all of a sudden you get a multi-$1,000 tax bill, and it can throw you for a loop. So lots of things to consider. If you have questions afterwards, reach out to me. I'm happy to talk with you privately on those things. Again, Tuesday at noon Eastern, Lucas and I are going to be on their webcast, and looking forward to that. We're going to talk a lot more in depth on that. So, and I made it. There we go. All right. All right. So I do want to now introduce you to Brian, and I wanted to let everybody know on the call. I believe everybody else that are presenters on this call are veterans except for me. So I consider it a real privilege to be a part of this whole group. And just want to introduce Brian. He is an Air Force veteran, I think 28 years, separated a couple of years ago. Real privilege to have him on. Brian, tell us about VA home loans.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that very much, Todd. And yeah, I'm here to chat about VA home loans. I spent 28 years in the Air Force, a little bit of time in the Navy, actually prior to my Air Force time. So 2 services under my belt. And when I retired, I looked into defense contracting and decided buying satellite parts out of a windowless building weren't going to be my thing. So I love connecting with veterans. I was a teacher for 14 of my 28 years in the Air Force, and I love helping folks understand things better. So that's how I ended up helping folks with VA loans generally. But here's my tidbits here. Benefits of a VA loan. Some of these you'll probably already know, but some of them you may not. No down payment when you're making a purchase, which is nice. That means you can borrow 100% loan to value without having to pay any private mortgage insurance. If you're doing a conventional loan and you're not able to put 20% down, you're going to have, can be fairly expensive private mortgage insurance. The VA helps you avoid all that. Amazing way to go. Often you get better interest rates with VA loans, so that's a good thing. If you already have your disability rating when you're purchasing a home and you're using a VA loan, then the VA funding fee is waived. So that's an awesome benefit. So if you were thinking that, you weren't going to apply for VA benefits because you didn't figure you got beat up that bad, most of us spent time in Iraq or Afghanistan, so we're probably beat up enough we should be applying for those benefits. But if you were thinking about not doing that, if you get any kind of rating at all, that VA funding fee is waived for the rest of your life for every home you buy using a VA loan. That is just worth so much money, it's not even funny. So make sure you get your disability rating so you can get that VA funding fee waived. Now, other things to consider about VA loans as you're separating or retiring. Are you planning on staying in the area? If you have more than a year left in the area you're going to stay in, and that's where you're going to separate or retire, and you want to stay in that area, might be a good idea to figure out how to buy the home while you're still on active duty, because you can get qualified with your full pay and benefits. That makes things a lot easier. If you're going to move, that's no problem. There's a lot of banks out there that can help you get qualified just on your retired pay and or your disability rating, if you happen to know their disability pay, if you know what that is. Generally, you won't know until you fully retire or separate for that. So you need to consider that. And if you're going to be moving, you can't buy it too far out because the VA expects you to move into the home within 60 days of the closing of the purchase. So that's something to consider on what you're doing with that. A lot of folks wonder if they can, if you have a job offer, if you can use that, especially if you're moving to a new area. You can, but the job generally needs to have an unconditional job offer with it, meaning no contingencies. So it can't have any verbiage in there that say anything like, you must contingent upon security clearance or something like that. If it has any of that kind of verbiage, then, the bank doesn't trust that won't fall through and you won't be able to use that job offer. Entitlements. A lot of folks have questions. If you already have a one VA loan on a home and you want to keep that home when you're moving someplace else, or just even move into a different house, can you use a VA loan for that? A lot of folks don't know. You absolutely can. The math gets a little bit complicated, but the bottom line is right now you can borrow up to $647,200 worth of home using VA loans. There's a caveat to that, which I'll cover super quick. So if you only have $200,000 tied up into a VA loan now, the math's more complicated. And if you have questions, reach out. I'll be happy to walk you through scenarios. You could get a new VA loan for $474,200. I think that's the number, $447,200. So bottom line is there's extra availability. You can actually have multiple VA loans going at once. Let's see, what else is kind of some important stuff? Oh, if you don't have any VA loan right now, then according to the Blue Water Navy Act, you can actually buy a $2 million house, 100% VA loan, no money down, assuming you can get qualified for that. So if you're getting a really good job and you can get out there and do that, there's no limit to the amount of VA loan you can actually get if your entitlement is not currently tied up, meaning you don't have a current VA loan. Of course, maybe not the best time to be refinancing, but of course, right now, that's the other thing to consider. Even if you're having to borrow, at 4% or 5%, it's not going to stay that high forever. At some point, it's probably going to go back down. And that's where the VA offers the interest rate reduction refinance loans. They love their acronyms and their alliteration, same as the military. So EARLs, they call those. And you get refinanced to a lower rate at some point in the future. And it's pretty inexpensive to do that. The VA funding fee is a lot lower. But again, if you have a disability rating, then the VA funding fee is waived, and pretty good opportunity there. A lot of folks think they must be single family homes. That's not true. You can buy a 2 or 4 unit, complex if you're going to live in one of those using your VA loan. And sometimes you can do land loans, even if you want to build your own house and those kinds of things, depending on the bank, if they find that offers. So again, I'm here. I'm happy to chat with anybody if you have specific questions about a specific scenario. I posted my information out there on LinkedIn. I've also got 2 boys in college, so we're utilizing the GI Bill a whole bunch. So if you want any tips on GI Bill, and if I can help with job search or anything in the Colorado Springs area, or if you're just interested in Colorado, I'm happy to brag about the awesome place I live. So thank you.
Hey, Brian, thanks so much. James, you're on deck, but I did want to just make mention of that 10% rating for your VA is such a huge benefit when it comes to applying for a home loan. And appreciate you kind of bringing that out. It, just any kind of rating, and it will save you thousands of dollars on your VA. So thanks for bringing it out. So James, Wounded Warrior Project, tell us what we need to know about your organization.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, again, thanks for having me. And for all you that are transitioning out, thank you for your service and good luck to you in the civilian world. Wounded Warrior Project, we have 25 offices around the country. I'm working out of our Cincinnati, Ohio office. But like Todd said, we do have an office in Nashville. And we actually have our headquarters is down in Jacksonville. But what Wounded Warrior Project does is we service veterans and service members who incurred a physical or mental injury, illness, or wound while serving in the military on or after September 11, 2001. So that's our focus and that's our mission. The reason why we focus on post 9/11 veterans is because we tailor our programs and services to that generation of service member. As you hear from all these other great organizations out there, there's multiple places to go for the same programs and services. So wherever you feel most comfortable, please, reach out to as many folks as you can. It's easy to register. Just go to our website, woundedwarriorproject.org. And there's a button right up there to click join. Or you can also contact our resource center, which has some great information for you guys. And I'll drop that in the chat once I'm done. But yeah, like I said, we offer a wide variety of programs and services. I work for the alumni department, which really focuses on connection. So what we do is we look to connect veterans to other veterans. So if you happen to be, after you transition out, moving back to your home of record or moving out somewhere else, we're gonna get you into that pipeline to meet other veterans, so you can share that camaraderie that you have now with your brothers and sisters. So so it's a little more localized once you hit the civilian world. We also look to connect you to the community. So maybe you're moving somewhere new. We're going to get you connected to other local resources in the area, and then connected to our other programs and services. So I think the alumni department is the best one because that's the one that I work with. But we do have, like I said, a wide variety. We actually have a government relations team who was instrumental in getting the PACT Act passed, which, if you guys haven't heard, just passed a couple days ago, for toxic exposure, especially for those who may have served in, burn pit areas. So if you don't know about the PACT Act, definitely check that out and hit the ground running there. We also have a wide variety of programs in like physical health and wellness and mental health and benefits. So especially with you guys transitioning out, the 2 or 3 that I would hit on that you'd be able to take advantage of the most would be, we have a great benefits team. You can be active duty and register for Wounded Warrior Project, so you don't have to be a veteran. So if you're looking to transition out, whether it's through Wounded Warrior Project or DAV or VFW or whoever it is, find yourself a benefits liaison, so we can, it's much easier to get your benefits started while you're still active duty than it is to try to get something retroactive. And we have quite a few mental health programs, and especially with you guys being active duty still, one of the great things about our mental health program is Wounded Warrior Project is a private nonprofit organization. So all the mental health help that we're getting for you would be in conjunction with, but outside of the VA or the DoD. So we don't even have the ability to put anything into your medical records or get anything out. So I know a lot of active duty folks are worried about a security clearance or something along those lines. You don't have to worry about that through our mental health programs and services. Another nice thing about Wounded Warrior Project is that you can actually register a family support member. And those family support members can take advantage of a lot of the same programs and services that you as service members can take advantage of. And again, with transitioning out, we have a Warriors to Work program. Our Warriors to Work program is going to help you with resume writing, to where you can translate your military service into a civilian resume. They're going to help you with interviewing techniques, especially, for those that are, got 20 plus years in. When was the last time that you interviewed for a job? So, we can help provide that support, and in some cases, help with job placement. And then last but not least, our resource center. Our resource center is available to you, to really anybody, whether you are registered with us or not. And that's really just a great way. We have thousands of vetted resources to get you the help that you need, in case it's something that Wounded Warrior Project doesn't do. So that's my time, and I'll drop all my information into the chat. And thank you for your time, and thank you for your service, and welcome home.
All right. And James, I do know there's a couple of questions in chat. For those of you that are on the call, we are going to have a Q&A at the end. You feel free to stick around and ask these questions. But if you want to direct message somebody in the chat, go ahead and do that. And if you want to get the answers there, that would be great. And now, last but or not last, and certainly not least, we do have Dave Schantz, extremely knowledgeable in the area of Skillbridge. Dave, tell us what we need to know.
Thanks so much for having me, Todd. Welcome, everybody. So my name is Dave Schantz. I retired from the Navy at the end of February of 2020. did a Skillbridge opportunity with my company, loved every minute of it, never stopped talking about the program. I now lead the DoD Skillbridge Community of Practice LinkedIn group. So if you're a service member looking for Skillbridge opportunities, please feel free to join. And I also have been leading my company's Skillbridge program for about the last 18 months. So what is Skillbridge? Skillbridge program allows transitioning service members the ability to take part in an unpaid internship or apprenticeship with the company of their choosing for up to 180 days with the high likelihood of being employed at the end. And that's really the biggest factor, right? You want to make sure that the training that you're getting during the internship or apprenticeship, that company will either hire you once you finish their training program, or they're going to help you get a job with another company based on the training that you have received. Eligibility to participate, you have to be within your last 180 days of contract. You have to have spent 180 days in service. You have to have completed your services, your branch TAP class, and you have to have gotten written approval from your commanding officer, at least your first 04 in your chain of command. And you have to be expecting an honorable discharge. So where do you start? First thing is companies can't help service members that say, I'm looking to do anything, anywhere. You've got to be, specific, right? The industries can't, just put you anywhere. So figuring out what it is you want to do and where you want to live. Those are the two biggest factors that are going to drive your Skillbridge journey, okay? I want you to lean in heavily on happiness. I don't want you to seek a Skillbridge opportunity or even full-term, employment opportunities that aren't going to make you happy. So if what you're doing in the service is not making you happy, there are a lot of service members who do a career change, and Skillbridge is the perfect vehicle for you to accomplish that. I want you to connect with companies and their Skillbridge points of contact. I want you to learn about that company's Skillbridge program and the company in general. Company culture matters. Okay, if you enjoy certain facets of your life, you enjoy thinking artistically, but this company is gonna micromanage or wondering what you're doing, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to find the right company fit. You're only going to know that by reaching out to people from that company and learning about them. Okay, where do you find Skillbridge opportunities? There is no one consolidated place of where all Skillbridge opportunities are housed. The DoD right now doesn't have that person. There is no ability. There are no Skillbridge opportunities on the Skillbridge website. Zero, none. Hopefully in a couple of years, they will have funding to get person to put up and take down opportunities regularly. But as of right now, there are none. So where do you find them? The DoD Skillbridge Community of Practice LinkedIn group. That's a really great place. LinkedIn Jobs. If you go on LinkedIn Jobs right now, top left, you type in Skillbridge. There are nearly 1,000 individual Skillbridge opportunities right now on LinkedIn Jobs. And then the same thing, if you go to Google, open up a fresh Google page, type in DoD Skillbridge internships, your computer is probably going to read what city you are in, and go to the blue link. It'll be like 100 or more or whatever. There are hundreds of Skillbridge opportunities on LinkedIn and Google as well. Okay, on the Skillbridge website, Skillbridge location page, I want you to narrow down and focus on your keywords. Okay, so if you want to do information technology, do information technology and see what companies come up, and then you can even drill down from there, right? Cloud, whatever your keywords are, right? Run that search so that way you're not sifting through. I think we have more than 2,300 approved organizations. Imagine going through each one, seeing if they have something for you. There's no need to do that. Run a keyword search and have the website work for you. Okay. On that same page, you're going to find the majority of the company's Skillbridge POCs. So you'll be able to start a conversation with the right person who's going to be able to tell you about their company and program. There is no financial gain or loss with Skillbridge. So you're not going to get paid any more money and you're not going to lose any money, except if you're special forces. All those special pays, benefits, and allowances that you get because you're special forces will go away if you spend more than 90 days away from your unit. If you're not special forces, you're not getting those pays, it doesn't matter. 20 seconds, seriously? I'm only halfway done. All right, reach out to me. I got a lot more to share. I did see Miss, oh my God, what is her name? Joe Villarreal. Congratulations. The city of Tucson is now Skillbridge approved. Very happy to see her on the call. Reach out to Joanne if you're going to be moving to Tucson and would like an opportunity in Tucson. Thanks, Todd.
So Dave, that was an excellent presentation. I just, I can't believe you didn't make it through more. You've gotten rusty since our last time or something.
I have.
Normally you're like, yeah, I'm done. So I appreciate that. And right now we've got Lucas Connolly. He's with the Recruit Military, has lots of different information on everything from Skillbridge to also resume writing. Lucas, tell us what you want us to know.
Thanks, and great to be on the call today. First, just a couple of things about me. I'm an Army guy, so I see all these Navy and Air Force folks in here. So if you have questions, I would ask that you use small words. Us knuckle draggers can understand, and I was an artillery guy, so please try to speak clearly and let me see your lips moving. Else I won't understand most of what you're saying. But yes, beat Navy. Thank you, whoever just put that in the chat. I work for a great company called Recruit Military. If you want to find us, it's www.recruitmilitary.com. We do our business one of three ways for our clients. We have contingency recruiters, some might call the headhunters that do direct placements. We have our job board, which is military niche. You're not going to have to navigate your way through 4 million or 5 million Department of Labor listings to find somebody or find a company in our job board that's looking for military talent, because those are the only people we work with. 390,000 opportunities as of this morning with 6,000 different companies, all seeking military talent. And behind the scenes on that job board is a staff of client success managers and recruiters who are literally using the database to make the connections between the employer and the person that's built their profile. Our mission is simple: empower transitioning service members, veterans, and male spouses through meaningful employment. And so when Dave was talking about, find that thing that makes you happy, we're hoping that you find meaningful employment, not just a job, when you work with us. So how does it work? How do we successfully connect people? We encourage you to do 4 things on the website. And if you all want to write this down, feel free. 1, build your profile to 100%, not to 27% or 60%. Build your profile to 100%. Once your profile is at 100%, the companies can search you, our recruiters can search you, and you might just get a phone call. Upload a resume. If you don't have a resume, use our resume tool to build it and automatically upload it to your profile. Register for one of our job fairs, about 80 or 90 events per year, all with high success rates. The ratio of job fair participants to interview offers is about 1 to 1. Does that mean everybody gets one? Of course not. Some people just aren't prepared. Other people go in and crush it and come out with 2 or 3 interview opportunities. And then finally, set up your saved searches within our database so you can be a passive job seeker, so that the job opportunities, the career opportunities that you've filtered through are delivered to the mobile device of your choice. All right. We also have, if you are interested in recruiting as a field, we have a Skillbridge opportunity. For those that are interested in going into the career field, it's a minimum 90 days. We train all of our interns on recruiting, what the recruiting field looks like, and looks nothing like the unfortunate souls who are right now fighting through the recruiting crisis that we have in the military. We train you on the recruiting field, introduce you to the recruiting field, get you working as a candidate success representative to help all of our registrants get their profiles built, and then a 10 to 12 week mentorship and coaching process. We teach you about how to build your resume, how to use LinkedIn for professional networking, how to do targeted searches, how to prepare for interviews, how to execute interviews, how to do your follow-up, how to brand yourself, personal branding, maximizing your use of social networking, how to get out, reach for, and execute informational interviews with the companies that you are interested in. So if anybody else wants to hear more about those opportunities or wants to get connected with someone that can assist them in the recruiting corner, please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. We've got tons of resources, tons of opportunity. And if you're interested in watching our Recruit Military live show, it's every Wednesday at noon Eastern Standard Time, always focused on transition topics. So everything from financial preparedness and resumes and social media networking and informational interviews. Think of it as a free seminar to anybody who's interested. And if you're not available for the live, it's available on our website recorded. Less than 5 minutes. That doesn't mean it wasn't valuable. How much time do I have left?
I've got you at 55 seconds. So
I yield the remainder of my time to the distinguished lady from ACP.
Real quick. So Lucas, tell them, because that seminar or that webinar that you have sounds like a great opportunity. How can they find that again?
Well, you can go to the Recruit Military page on LinkedIn. Just go to your little LinkedIn search window, hit Recruit Military. No spaces, no dash, no dots, all one word, Recruit Military. And then scroll down to where the events are. Click on that, and probably the top event in there is either going to be our upcoming virtual job fair, or it'll be the next scheduled seminar.
Great. Thank you so much.
I've had Leslie on the show. I hope hopefully she enjoyed that experience. We've been worked together on a couple times. Maybe I can convince Dave to come on sometime.
Like I said, that's why we're all here for Dave. So, or Leslie, one of those two. So, Leslie, I'm not even going to try to tell everything there is to know about American Corporate Partners. In my opinion, it's one of the premier organizations in the transition space. So, tell us what we need to know.
Well, I just have to say, before you start my timer, I'd like to piggyback on what Brian was saying for the VA home loan. I may have missed it, but if you're going to use it, just know that it has to be your primary residency within 60 days of closing. So I know that because I moved into my forever home a week ago, and I used our VA loan, and we're currently geo-batching as active duty. Let's see, almost 29 years in, and we'll be retiring by 30. So yes, that is something that sometimes people will put in their earnest money and whatnot and put down an offer, not realizing somebody has to move in there within 60 days of close. So just keep that in mind. Now you can start the timer.
Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Leslie Coffey. I'm the VP of Military Engagement for ACP, and I really want to talk about and highlight some of those things that Lucas was sharing, that Dave was sharing, and that is the key words of meaningful employment, finding the right fit so that all of us can survive. We can figure it out, but it's really about landing well and thriving. So that you're not having to search over and over again for that first career post-service. And that's exactly what ACP can do. We can help you to figure out what is the best path for you, and then of course help you to get there. So what we are is we are a nationwide nonprofit, completely free to active duty, anybody that has served at least 180 days post 9/11, active duty spouses, Gold Star spouses, and spouses of disabled post 9/11 veterans. We are grant funded, so those are the parameters within the grant. But we connect you on a one-to-one customized basis with a career professional in the space you're looking to get into. And it's a mentorship, and it's a mentorship that lasts a year. However, if you land a position month 2, still want to keep that mentor, because integrating is so crucial for that next chapter. Integrating well, you might be surrounded by a team and there's no veterans. How do you, how do you integrate well once that honeymoon period is over, month 4 through 6, and etc. So the minimum request for time is 1 hour a month. However, everybody's journey is completely different. It's completely customized. We have 115 corporate partners. That is where most of our mentors come from. Anybody from, production managers to CEOs to astronauts. Tom Hanks has been in here, Rupert Murdoch, like you name the career path. We're going to find a professional that has years of experience in that career path and pair you with them on a one-to-one basis. So we do not provide 10 or 15 veterans to one mentor. It's one-to-one for a year. So it's somebody that is volunteering their time with the only thing they want is to see you succeed. It can be a little bit different because it's somebody pouring into you. And you're so used to pouring into the team and the mission. So to have that come back, I can tell you because I'm an alumni, and which is the whole reason I joined the team. But they're all customized when you apply at acp-usa.org. I'll share the link in just a moment, but when you apply, you're going to hear from one of our staff members. It is a human-driven process to identify the best mentor. It's not AI, it's not an algorithm or anything like that, or Match.com. It is human that gets you on a call, wants to listen to your goals, your needs, and even your interests. Like, for example, I'm a big basketball fan. Who'd have thought? I'm in Kentucky. But we like to find somebody that when we have somebody that has that commonalities in addition to the career field, then that relationship really develops and blossoms over the course of a year. So we ask all of these things, and then we go on the hunt by our staff. And then you also have a point of contact at ACP that reaches out to you once a month to check on you. Do you need additional resources? Or you need some help figuring out that Skillbridge? We advertise RecruitMilitary's job fairs every single week. So regardless of what you need assistance with, that point of contact at ACP is going to be there to check on you. So last thing I'll say is that in addition to the one-to-one customized mentorship, is we also have events every single Wednesday. They're now on LinkedIn Live. So if you follow ACP on LinkedIn, then you're going to get a notification. So yesterday we had Johnson & Johnson. They talked about their careers and they were all veterans. Every week it's a different company, and we have something specifically tailored to our women once a month, and I host those events. So 2 weeks ago it was gender and team dynamics in a male-dominated industry with the SVP of DE&I. So every week it's something different, and I will also share the link so you can look at past events if you're interested. Thanks so much, Todd.
All right. Well, Leslie, again, as always, thank you so much for all the information. And I understand Eric Brew is now with ACP.
Yep, he's on my team.
He, do you get to be his boss?
I do. That's the only thing he calls me.
You gotta rub that in a little bit. Well, listen, everybody, that is exactly what Transition 30 is about. Getting you all the information that you can handle in 30 minutes. And now we do have a Q&A. We completely understand if you have to hop off, if you need to jump to something else. Look for that final email. We'll have some links in there. We can go to our YouTube channel. We'll get the chat sent over to you if you want that. But any questions, and I am going to give, if we don't have a lot of questions, I want each of the presenters give a last 10-15 seconds. So just get ready for that 10-15 second plug for your organization. But do we have any questions? If you do, just go ahead and unmute yourself and ask away. Let me see. I've got Chris and I've got Harold. And Chris, I think you were unmuted first, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, hi. Thanks everybody for hosting this today. My name's Harold Chamblin. I am transitioning out. I'm not, my last day is July of 2023. So I've got a lot of lead time still. So I sent most of you guys that gave presentations my contact information. But really, I am looking to speak with James and Dave on the Skillbridge and the Wounded Warrior project for the most part, because I'm going through a lot of stuff through TAPS, and I've got a lot of questions for follow-ups in your guys' two specific areas. But again, thank you all for hosting this, and I look forward to speaking with you guys.
Great. Thank you, Harold. I appreciate that. And James and Dave, I know he did put his information in the chat, so if you want to try to connect with him. And I think Christopher, there we go. It shows you're unmuted. I don't know if we can hear you though. Okay. And not, I was thinking it was just me. I'm getting older, so I was thinking, it could be me, but yeah, we can't hear you. Maybe you can put something in the chat and we'll look for that and we'll get the question answered. Anybody else that some of the these are some great SMEs in their respective areas. So if you have a question, please feel free to ask. All right, what I'm going to do while we're waiting for Christopher to get his question in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give everybody, all of our presenters, the last 15 seconds. And I'm just going to start in order of appearance on my screen. James, last 15 seconds on Wounded Warriors.
Yeah, James, Wounded Warrior Project. Yeah, just woundedwarriorproject.org will really tell you everything that you need to know. I really didn't get a whole lot of time to talk about a resource center either. Our resource center, I put the phone number there in the chat. But really the resource center is going to be able to get you connected. If you got any questions, whether it's something that Wounded Warrior Project does or not, they're going to be able to direct you to those who can.
Great. Thank you. And Chris, I do see that question. I'm going to have Leslie go last and she can answer that question and then give us our last information on ACP. So Brian, why VA Home Loans? Why would they want to reach out to you?
Hey, thanks, Todd. I appreciate that very much. So again, Brian Tichenor, I work for an amazing bank called Bell Bank Mortgage, who employs just an absolute ton of veterans, but they also do crazy, amazing things to honor veterans, basically no bank fees for VA loans. So, and we do loans in 36 states. So if you have questions about VA loans and you want me to do a little comparison for you, I can help with that. But I spent a whole bunch of time over the last couple of weeks actually mentoring a guy in a state where Bell Bank can't help, but he had some serious questions and had some challenges with the lender he was using. So I was able to coach him through some of that stuff and get him educated a little better. So that's what I'm here for. As I mentioned, 14 years teacher out of my 28 years in the military. I love helping folks understand things better. So anything I can do to help you understand something better, again, whether it's home loans or even if it's GI Bill, like I said, I mentioned I have 2 boys that are using GI Bill in 2 different states, 2 different things. So a ton of benefits to GI Bill stuff. If you have kids that are using it, and if you have any questions about working through the process and taking full advantage of that, I'm happy to help with those kind of questions too. So again, Brian Tichenor, thank you guys all for your service and best of luck on your transition. If there's anything we can do to help, we're all here for you.
Great. Dave, Skillbridge.
Yeah, thanks, Todd. So once you cast that net and you figure out what you want to do, never, ever put all of your eggs into one company's basket. Okay. Your transition timeline is not our timeline. Okay. So I want you to reach out to all the companies, submit applications. Once you learn about the companies and you think that there's somebody that you want to work with, apply to all of the companies that you're interested in. If you apply to one company, you may get nothing. If you apply to 10, maybe 7 of them get back to you and maybe 4 of them give you an opportunity. And that keeps you in the driver's seat and allows you to choose which opportunity is best for you and your family. So cast that wide net, use your resources, and set yourself up for success.
Great advice. Thanks, Dave. Lucas?
Yeah, hey, I'm just going to throw out the one biggest mistake that most transition service members make when they're doing employment. And when I talk to transition service members about what they want to do when they get out, and the first thing I hear, which makes me want to run my nails across a chalkboard, is I want to be a project manager. Like, okay, that's great. And you can go into a recruiter's office in the Marines and say, hey, I want to be a commander. Okay, commander of what? A commander of a logistics company, a commander of a combat unit, a commander. So you want to be a project manager. What field do you want to work in? What industry do you want to be in? How much, we're doing it backwards. Most transitioning service members, they latch onto a job title that they think sounds exciting and interesting. Then they go out and they look for a company that's willing to hire them, despite the fact they have no experience in the industry. They convince somebody to hire them. They go in, they learn it backwards, realize that they don't like working in oil and gas, or they didn't want to be in nonprofit, or they don't want to work in the education sector because there's no growth opportunity for them because they came in underqualified. All right, they've taken now take that entire employment sequence to flip it. Determine what makes you happy, what your life goals are, where you want to be in 5 or 10 or 20 years, what you want people to say about your life when it's over and your legacy is all that you've left behind. Now figure out where you think you can do it, how you want to do it, what industry you think suits your needs, your goals, your life choices. Find a company that rests within there. Find the company that has the opportunities you're looking for. Find the opportunity somewhere in there, get to know the people, talk to the informational interview folks that are willing to get out to you, reach out to a human resource manager or recruiter, then write your resume, then submit your applications, not the other way around. Flip that whole process upside down. Start with you, then find the job. Don't just find the job and then figure out if it suits you, because by now you're out, your resources are gone, and you're angry because you're in a job that you hate. Flip it around. Reach out to us, www.recruitmilitary.com. Get in there, build your profile, find meaningful employment. Thanks.
Awesome. Lucas, thank you so much. For me, if you have questions, TSP, SBP, VGLI, the ones that find the most value, if you're 20 plus years in and now you're going to have pension, you're going to have some VA, you're going to have all of these different sources of income, it pays to at least talk to somebody about what are some of the options before you start making a lot of long-term choices, like SBP, VGLI, that could really be something that is expensive for you down the road. Leslie, thank you so much again. Fill us in on ACP and then we'll be done.
My one piece of advice is to know that this is not, it's not a single event. Transition is not an event, it's a process. It is a transformation more than a transition. So just please give yourself grace, and you never have to go through it alone. An ACP mentor is one that can help, but you have an entire tribe out here ready to walk that journey with you. So get a personal board of advisors. Perhaps your ACP mentor can be your chairman or chairperson of the board. I will quickly share my story and the whole reason I joined the team. I came through ACP as a military spouse in the middle of the Mojave Desert in Fort Irwin, California in 2018 when they first launched for spouses. And because I put a countdown app on my phone to be able to join because I've known about ACP. And I was like, yeah, this is a no-brainer. Who would want to participate? And anyhow, the result of my mentorship before remote work was big, you know, not necessarily bustling metropolis in Fort Irwin, California, where closest Chick-fil-A is 96 miles away. That might determine civilization for you, it does for me. But the result of my mentorship was a 67% increase in pay. And so it really helped my family. And that's exactly why I joined the team, because I see this as a gift to give this community. I want everybody to take advantage. We currently have about 700 mentors standing by, ready to help. So please reach out. What's most important, don't try to go it alone.
Awesome. Well, Leslie, as always, all of our presenters, thank you so much. I know that you're not getting any extra time or pay for this. And so being able to give of your time, just really appreciate all of that. Reach out to any of us if you have questions. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and we will be seeing you soon.
Thanks, Todd.
All right.
Thanks, Todd.
Talk to
Take care,
y'all
everyone.
later. All right. Bye-bye.